Oh yeah, let's
Oh, I'm
record.
recording. Cool. Okay.
Are you ready, Miss
I am
Windsor?
ready. Yeah, I was meant to write down answers, but I've been so busy I haven't had a chance, so I'll just wing it.
Well, if you've seen them, haven't you? So you'll
Yes, I
probably
know.
have a little
I
bit of
know
an
what to
idea,
say.
won't you?
Yeah. That's what I always say, so it's all good. Cool.
Sometimes it's better just to go from the
Yeah.
heart, isn't it?
Exactly.
So,
Cool.
first up, can you tell us a bit about yourself and how
Yeah.
you got into the business, please?
Okay, darling. So basically, a lot of you know this already, but some of you don't. Are new to the call or new to the team. And basically, I met Millie in the gym. I was a fat, miserable drunk. I always say that. And I've got a glass of wine in my hand as I'm speaking, so I do apologise. But at the time, I was a very, 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 very. Oh fuck! Sorry, 1 minute. Let me just turn this down. And my phone's been going off. So I was very negative. I was very miserable. I was very overweight. I was unhappy. I was awful, basically. I was just really not really enjoying life. I got into the products first and foremost. Didn't know anything about the business. Did really, really well in the products. So the first month I was crap. Not going to lie, it was Christmas. And then in the January, I started on the capsules, and I literally it just flew for me. My body changed, my attitude changed, everything changed. So on a very, very short note, I got then involved in the business. I went to an event, saw the possibilities, and was like, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for my entire life. So I've done it. I've been 2 years and a bit now. I know Janika's going to ask me another question later about a little bit of it, but so I went STD quite quick. I think I did it in the first couple of months. Went SSC last year. I had a real stall last year, which I'm going to talk about later. And then, I just want to say I'm so over the moon, and this is why I'm completely buzzing, that this time last year I was literally so jealous of all these people going to QNMD school, because quite a few of them I had been on stage with as SSC in the February, and they all went to QNMD school. Some of them are now PMDs. Hayley Boucher, for example, she's PMD Rookie of the Year. I was on stage with her as SSC. So, this time last year, it was a dream to go to QNMD school. I've just been asked 2 days ago. Yay. So I'm so excited. And what I've just sent a few voice notes to my team is like, I'm not saying this to show off in any way, shape or form. I'm saying it to show that if you believe it, you can literally do anything. And I never thought, as much as I've always I know I'm going to be PMD one day. I know I am. But you still have that little thing in your head, do you know what I mean? But I'm getting there, and it's, if you're SSC now, if you're SDD, if you're DD, if you've just started, let's just mute some people 1 minute. I'll just mute everybody because I can hear some TV going on. You can do anything, and that's what I've always known since the day I started this business, is that I would be successful. Didn't know how, didn't know where, didn't care really. I've enjoyed it along the way. I've just gone I've just getting my bonus tomorrow, so I'm getting £5,500 or something ridiculous tomorrow. Imagine that, £5,500 for 1 month's work. It's like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? What the fuck? There's people in this business that are getting 20 grand a month every single month, and I'm going to be one of them. Every single person on this call can be one of them. Do you know what I mean? We all can. And that's what's, it just buzzes the shit out of me. I'm so excited. In the beginning, Emma Snedden always says this, and this is what always excited me, and this is what kept me going in the beginning, was in the beginning of this business, you're going to be doing a hell of a lot for a little bit of money, but you're doing that so that in the long run, you'll be doing very little for a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? So, I went through months and months and months and months of earning 2, 3, 4, 7. I think 700 quid was my main one where I was stuck at. I was stuck at 700 quid for ages. And it's like, 700 quid for fucking around on Facebook is great. But, I wanted more than that. And now it's got to the point where, I'm on a good couple of grand commission, and my bonus tomorrow is amazing. So what I want is, the reason I'm saying that, it's not just about money, but it's just about, if you are stuck somewhere, I'm going to talk about that as well in a minute. It's not all about the money, but it's there and it will come. You've just got to be patient, and you've just got to stick with it. So sorry, I'm gibbering a bit, but let me unmute you because I muted everybody. So that's a little bit about my story.
No, I love that, because I've always, there was an event we went to, can't remember where it was, but Emma Snedden was there, and it's the first time I heard her say, you might be doing a lot of work in the early days,
Yeah.
but later on you won't have to do as much.
Yeah.
So just literally just do your best now.
Yeah.
And it'll pay off.
100%. Push through the early times, because this business, a lot of people come into this business thinking it's going to get rich quick scheme, and it isn't. It's originally getting to NMD was a 5-year plan. It's only because some crazy people went NMD in, like, 3, 4, 7 months or whatever they used to do, 90 days, some of them, that people get this unrealistic expectation. But realistically, I studied law for 8 years, and then I was offered a job to be a trainee assistant for 16 grand a year. And I'd have been working like 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. at night, never seeing my children, never seeing anything. I'm pissing around on Facebook, sitting in coffee, drinking wine, and I'm getting paid 24 grand a year now. Do you know what I mean? Hello? Do you know what I mean? It's sometimes you get a little bit, I'm not earning the 10 grand a year. Bullshit. If you're earning 10 grand a year doing part-time fucking around on Facebook, it's still amazing money, and it's still really, really, really good. And it's the opportunity that's there that is going to come in the future that's the most important thing to think about, I think. So I digress.
Definitely. No, I love it. So
I do apologise. I do swear a lot. So I'll try and calm it.
It doesn't matter. So we were talking last week in the office. What an amazing day that was. About your business being quite quiet last year. What has changed this year to make it triple the size? Okay,
it really has tripled. In January last year, I went SSC, and obviously my pay line to go SSC was 10 grand. This last month was £32,500 pay line. So yeah, it has tripled since last year, but it's tripled since December. It was 10 grand in December. So there's two things that have made my business triple. First and foremost is the DMO. Everybody bangs on about the DMO. I copied Millie. Everybody knows what's happened to Millie as well. She was a similar position, obviously as low as me, but she's done the DMOs consistently and taught her team to do the same, and it's tripled her business. I've done the same, so I copied Millie. You just copy your upline. This business is about copying your upline, and when they do something that's successful, just copy them. It's like when John Holowati teaches me to do something, it's like, I'm just going to do it. I'm a sponge. I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? If he says do it, do it. If your upline is successful and they're saying do something, just copy them, just do it. So DMO. If you in my team are on this call, you know that I bang on about DMO, and it's so simple. And I'll quickly go over what I think should be in the DMO. First and foremost, you need to have like an accountability. So if it's day 1 of 30, day 1 of 90, day 2 of 90, whatever, but you need to have that accountability. So don't just do DMO. Set yourself a thing of like, mine's day 1 of 90. I know Rachel does day 1 of 30. It doesn't matter what you do, but it makes you then very accountable, because if you'll get to day 23 and you haven't done it, you know you haven't done it. And in your book, you can see that day 23 is missing. So you know you're not being consistent. So that's really important. You need to have affirmations on there. Like I've started to write, I am a customer magnet. I am a customer magnet. I suddenly start to get loads of customers. I am a teaming magnet. I am SDD. I am PMD. I am whatever it is you want to be. So write that down. And just the act of writing that every single day makes you think about it. So that's really important. And then obviously the basics of the DMO have to be something that's achievable for you. But I personally think that the minimum can be done in an hour. So anybody that says they ain't got an hour a day is bullshitting themselves. If you haven't got an hour a day, just leave, as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean? Seriously, just, everyone's got an hour a day. Everybody watches EastEnders. Give up EastEnders and do this business. So, in an hour a day, you can add 20 plus people. I personally add probably 30 to 40. Post 3 times 3 times 3. I know some people do 2 times 2 times 2. That's fine. As long as you do morning, lunchtime, evening, that's fine. But we've all got Hootsuite. There's lots of different ways of posting all through the day. So there's no excuse for that either. That can be done in 10 minutes. So the adding 20 people takes 3 minutes. The posting takes 10 minutes, or you do it throughout the day. And then connecting with 10 people. And that will take up the extra time. I mean, I would say the minimum is 3 people. The minimum is 3 people a day. I personally try and do 10. every single day. But, you know, that's the minimum. And if anybody says they can't add 20 people, post 3 times a day and connect with 3 people a day, then seriously, you need to consider why you're in this business. Because if you're not prepared, because everybody has got that time, but if you're not prepared to give that time, then, you know, this business probably isn't for you, in my opinion. So there's the basics of the DMO, and that has totally transformed my business. And I've taught that to my team, and that is what they're doing. The other main thing that I totally changed from last year is I spent the whole of last year dragging team along. Now, this is the really important one. You'll have lots and lots. I mean, I think I've got 180 team now or something crazy. Obviously, not all of them are working. Not all of them are involved a lot. But what I did last year compared to since January, I had a revelation, was last year I would, for example, have 2 or 3 team members that I wanted it more for them than they wanted it for themselves. So I would spend all my time and energy working on those team, you know, like, come on, let's do this, teaching them, trying to egg them along. Now, that doesn't work. You cannot want this for other people. You can't. You want it for yourself. You do what you're doing, and that will motivate other people. So I stopped it at the end of the day. I just stopped doing it. If people message me, I'll message them back. If people ask me for advice, I'll give them advice. I'm there. Anyone in my team, I'm there for them 24/7. However, if you are in my team and you post once a week and then ring me and say, can we have a half an hour Zoom? It's like, no, I won't do it. I literally will only work. If you give me, like John says, give me one, you take 1 step, I'll take 5. Do you know what I mean? If you literally sat on the sofa doing fuck all, I ain't going to be doing nothing with you. Why should I? Because it's wasting my time. And I remember saying to one of my team that was dragging a team member along, it's like, all the time that you're spending dragging that person along in your team, Olivia Measures could be walking past the window and you're missing her. Do you know what I mean? And it's like that when I'm telling that to my team, it's like, that's what I need to do. So that's what I do now. And, you know, if you're in my team, you know, I'm there for you 100%. If somebody messages me, I'll message them straight back within minutes. But if you're in my team and you're just dragging along, I'm not going to try and pull you, because, you know, so that was a massive difference. And I think a lot of people do that, and it's a massive mistake that people do, is wanting it more for other people than they want for themselves. So, yeah, that's the DMO and being your own motivation rather than dragging people along are the 2 things that have changed for me.
Amazing. Thank you, Faith. That's what they always do say, is that you can't be on manager mode.
No.
Like,
100%.
You've got to, yeah, do it for yourself and go out there and find more to help.
Absolutely. Be the inspiration, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you keep yourself motivated and team?
Okay, so how do I keep myself motivated? Most of the time I'm really, really motivated anyway, just by the whole buzz of everything. I listen to a lot of Les Brown. I listen to a lot of audio CDs. Very rare that I go for a day without listening to something. I've got an audio as I'm going to bed. I quite often listen to audios and stuff like that. So that's massive. You know, do you need a mentor of some description? If you haven't got a personal mentor, then you must go and find like Les Brown or Tony Robbins or Luke Wren or anybody that's going to teach you. So that's motivating me. I'm quite a self-motivated person anyway, and I think you need to be in this business. If you think that your upline is going to do everything for you, then you're living in dreamland, because you know, your upline is there to help you, but they aren't there to do it for you. They're there to motivate you and to show you how to do things, but they cannot do it for you. So, you know, find somebody that's going to give you that inspiration. Les Brown's amazing. There's so many different videos and stuff like that you can listen to as well, and audio books and learning. And so I try and keep myself fresh with learning. And how do you motivate your team? You can't. This is one of the most things, like I just said, you just can't. You cannot drag somebody along. You just can't. And the only way you can motivate your team, and Millie taught me this as well, we chatted loads about it, is the only way you can do it is by doing it yourself, by being an example, by being a leader, and by, you know, if I'm not prepared to do something, I would not get my team to do anything that I'm not prepared to do myself. So I do it and then hope they'll follow. But, you know, I can't say to the team, like what I did last year, for example, it was like in my team group, let's do this. I'd like things like, do this, guys, do these certain things. And it's like just a switch in mindset was like, now let's do this, but I'm doing this. So I'm going to go and do this today. You know, if you want to copy me, great, because it works. But you can't motivate your team. I know that sounds like a shit answer to the question, but you can't. You've just got to do it yourself and hope they copy. That's it, I think. Oh, you're muted. Hang on one sec. Sorry.
It's right. I've done it. I'm there. That's amazing. Thanks, Faith. I absolutely writing down so much. How do you approach new people via Facebook?
Right. Okay. Now this is a biggie. I don't personally. How I approach new people is by adding new people, then connecting with them on Facebook. So, for example, if I add a load of new people, I'll wait a few days because I hate people that pounce. You know, when you've added a new friend and then suddenly you get like a friend request or a message going, hi, really glad to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And I've got this amazing business opportunity. It's like, fuck off. Nobody likes that. And nobody wants to do that. And nobody wants that. I mean, I hate it. Somebody might like it, but I don't. So I just ignore those sort of people. So I don't do that. So what I tend to do is I tend to get them onto my Facebook wall by connecting with them by commenting on their stuff, liking people's stuff like that. Now, I'm in a millionaire group with John Holowati. Claire Tellier, who I know is on the call as well. And I couldn't help myself the other night, even though I looked like I was dying, to ask the question on the call, because he started to talk about the cold market messaging, which I've never done. So this is something I'm going to teach you that John Holowati told us to do, which obviously I'm starting to do now. So cold market messaging, I've never done. I've done it occasionally. It's never worked for me. Whereas John's taught us a much better way of doing it. So I'm letting you in on a very big secret from his little millionaire group that I pay £100 a month for. But he basically, so we all know about joining groups, which I've done. And I sort of get involved now, but I sort of haven't. Now, what he sort of said was to get involved in groups and pages. And you need to think about who you are as a person and who you want to attract. So, for example, I'm a middle-aged woman who is into business. So I want to attract middle-aged business, clever women. That's who I'm looking for. You might be a 19-year-old girl who's into the gym, who wants to attract people who are into the gym. You know, so you've got to think about who you want to be. And usually you want people in your team that are very like you or who you want to aspire to or something like that. So then how do you find those people? So you go and find them in groups, in pages, in things like that, and then you connect with them. So my worry was, I'm never going to cold message people. I don't like that. But John came up with this thing. It's like, for example, okay, so I'll tell you what I did. I'm a middle-aged woman. I was struggling. He asked me, what are your hobbies? And it was like, I haven't got any hobbies. I was like, what's your hobby? This. Do you know what I mean? My hobby is this business. So I struggled. But so basically, I fancy a guy called Idris Elba, yeah? He's beautiful. He's stunning. And I know that it's middle-aged women that fancy Idris Elba. So I'm now on Idris Elba's page. Every single post that Idris Elba does, there's like about 100, 200, 500 comments on it. So I can scroll now through those comments, find people that I can resonate with, and then you message them and say something like, oh my God, I love the comment you did on Idris Elba's page. He's so hot, isn't he? For example, that is cold messaging. That is creating relationship. That is building up with somebody. Do you mind if we connect on Facebook? Do you know what I mean? Whereas rather than adding somebody going, hello, I do Juice Plus, and I'd really like you to fucking join my team. You know, it ain't gonna, you know, anybody does that to me, it makes me want to vomit, and it's like, just delete. So that's John's advice, not mine, and I'm just going to use that. So for example, I've done Idris Elba. Thank you, Rachel. That was Rachel's little tip. And there's a woman who is a mum, middle-aged mum, who's really into drinking gin, and she does these real piss take things every single day. It's like a page, I think she's called Totes in a Propes or something. And she does all these little pages, messages every day. And she takes the piss out of her kids and being late for swimming and stuff like that. So it's all going to be middle-aged mums on that page. So you just got to think outside the box of where to meet people. So I've met people like that, and then you think outside the box of how to connect with them, rather than the cold message, I do Juice Plus, do you want to join me, blah, blah, because it don't work. So that's how I do it.
That's something I'm definitely going to be doing. Thanks for that.
No, that was John Wadawotti, not me.
I'm thinking of a few people now, like a few people that I like. I'm like, oh, I could go on their page,
Just to say, like, for example, but to start with, I was like, oh, God. I thought, oh, Charlotte Crosby, because everybody likes Charlotte Crosby, do you know what I mean? And then I went to do it, and I thought, I don't even watch Geordie Shore, so how can I connect with them? So you've got to think about you. It's really important to really connect with who you are and what you like, because then you can be real about then messaging. You know, if I didn't fancy Idris Elba, I couldn't use that page. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about what you like, what you resonate with, and then go from there to resonate.
I must admit, I was the same as you when it comes to saying, what are your hobbies? I was like,
I ain't got one.
This is what I do. This is what I love. And I can't, like, you know, there's like the Horsey Girls.
Yeah.
And there's so many other things that a lot of people are really into, and I'm like, I don't know anything. But
I'm not really a mumsy mum, so I couldn't go onto the mumsy pages talking about nappies and shit, because I don't really care about that stuff.
Yeah, mine are like 7 and 4 now, so they're out of the nappies and everything. So
things outside the box, like the Idris Elba thing, like the Totes in a Propes woman. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of different ways that you can find people to resonate with that aren't necessarily in your normal social circle, and it's really working for me, put it that way. It's really, really good. So
thank you. I'm definitely going to be doing more of that, looking around for those pages. So next question is, what do you say when people don't get back to you?
Well, when people well, firstly, if they don't get back to you, they ain't getting back to you if they're not interested. So it depends. You've got to play it by ear. So if they're blatantly ignoring you, then they're not interested. So, you know, next, see you later, move on. Don't worry about it. Don't get emotionally attached to it. Don't be like, oh, God, they don't want to do it. Oh, it's a nightmare. Who cares? Next, move on. This business is a numbers game, so just keep moving on. However, again, from the John Wadawotti group, the fortunes in the follow-up. So, you know, if you've messaged somebody and they're blatantly not interested, move on. However, if you've been having a lengthy conversation with somebody, they're really about to buy, and then they just start ignoring you, then it's just not the right time for them. That's fine. So maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, go back and, you know, give them something of value, message them and say, listen, I appreciate, I've got a really good little post actually that Millie did a while ago that I send sometimes. It hasn't really worked actually, so I might change it. So I won't post it. But, you know, going back and giving them something of value. So, you know, I know it's probably maybe not the right time for you right now to start one of our plans. However, I saw this clean eating post, or this, like, there's a really good woman at the minute. Oh, shit, what's she called? I put it in my customer page earlier. Like an exercise, you can get a free 30-day exercise program with this woman, and everybody's raving about her. So you could send them a link like that. You could say, listen, I know you're probably not interested in buying the product. However, I thought of you and thought you might like this. And give them that for free, and that keeps you fresh in their mind. So when they do ever want to come back and buy anything, they'll come back to you. So it's a case of following up, but not being nauseous, like sending them, "Hi, haven't heard back from you. Do you want to try my plan?" I mean, that's boring. They're just going to go. They're still going to ignore you. So, but if you send them something of value and don't hassle them, maybe a month later, then, you know, when they are ready, they'll maybe come back to you. I must think of that thing actually, and I'll stick it in Forever Tribe or something, or message you for your team page. But Betty Rocker, that's it. I think she's called Betty Rocker, and one of my mates is doing it. It's absolutely amazing. She's got loads of free online exercise programs. So I shared it in my customer group today, and I'm going to send that to loads of my no-shows, because it's like, you know, there you go. There's a free thing that you can have. Shows that you're being nice, but also makes you look nice, or gives them some kind of value, makes them get into fitness and exercise. And then also when they're doing that, they might think, oh, fuck it, I'm going to start changing my diet and get back to faith. Do you know what I mean? So I'm sure it's Betty Rocker, but I'll double check when I get off the call.
Perfect. Well, that just goes to show you're just thinking of them. I mean, you might send it to a couple of people, but they might go, oh, she actually thought of me then. That's really kind of her.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? But it's all about looking after the customer at the end of the day and giving people value. So, you know, the fortunes in the follow-up and following up going, do you want to try my plan, isn't really very effective. Whereas following up with, here's a bit of piece of value, do you want to come back to me at some point in the future, and not being pushy will probably be more effective. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Love it. Thank you. And the last one.
Yeah.
We're at the last one already. We're at 31 minutes past, which isn't bad, is it?
Not bad. Well done.
Could you give us 3 of your top tips?
Okay,
please?
I haven't thought of these. So, okay.
What comes to your mind?
My first was attitude. Attitude, 100 million, trillion, billion %. Last night, I woke up at 2 a.m. I've had a really shit couple of weeks, I'm not going to lie. Everybody does. Everybody has this. And my car broke down, blah, 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 boring. But I've gone really negative for the last 2 weeks. And instead of seeing what could go right with everything, I've been thinking what could go wrong. And every situation I've been in for the last 2 weeks, it's been like, oh my God, it's just going to be a nightmare. My car's going to cost £1 million. Do you know what I mean? I made a decision last night to change that and to start focusing on what will go right. And today has been amazing. I've gone to QMD school. I found a house in Shoreham. Me and my sister sat in the pub and we got this guy and who's going to come and fix all our stuff for like £10 an hour. Just, it's attitude, 100% attitude. If you're sitting there saying to yourself, I can't get customers, you ain't going to get customers. If you're sitting there saying to yourself, my problem is team, then that's your problem because you're thinking that your problem is team. So number 1 tip is attitude. Number 2 tip is DMO, end of story. You do it and teach your team to do it. Don't just think about your DMO. The DMO has to be written down every single day. Go and buy a pad from Staples, they're £1. There's no excuse. You have £1 pad and you write it every day. Don't type it into your notes in your phone. Don't do any of that shit. Write it down because it's the art of writing it down that makes it work. And it's not only that, it's ticking it off. You don't tick it off when you've done a list on Facebook, on your iPhone. So write your DMO and complete your DMO and don't go to sleep till your DMO is ticked off. And number 3, my number 3 tip is that I'm going to ask my sister to say that because she's got something to say. So that's my number 3 tip. So Rachel is doing my number 3 tip. So I'll just unmute her. If I can find her. Oh, shit, no. Right, she there, Bab?
Yeah, hey, lovelies. How you all doing? Bum, bum, bum. Oh, my God, Fave. I just wanted to quickly, because I was going to just go over attitude, like, into gratitude. I just spoke to Jeanette and, like, she's happy with me to go over just a few of my tips and things that help me in my life, not only my own personal life, but my business. But just to quickly go over what Faith said, I have basically copied what Faith does. She's an amazing mentor. So, oh God, don't give me tears, but she's friggin' amazing. I love her. All I've done is really just taken on whoever your mentor is on this call, copy them, listen to them, repeat down line. It's as simple as that. If you don't do that, you're silly. You just need to repeat that. All I've done is copied what Faith's told me to do, and I've done that. Just a couple of things I wanted to say. What's that?
Only sometimes. Sometimes you do your own thing, my darling.
Sometimes I do my own thing, and then I go, oh, shit, that went wrong. Shit, I should listen to Faith. But sometimes you might want to do your own thing, and it might work. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. But the main thing that I wanted to just go through is just 2 things that Faith said is value. Value to your post. Like, put on your wall something that is going to value people. Now, I quite often, this really works for me. It's like one of my top tips is, for example, I find a really lovely clean recipe. I won't post the recipe. I'll put a lovely picture of the recipe, and then I'll let like 10 or 12 people build up underneath that. Then I won't just put the recipe underneath my post. I will post on their wall and say, hey, hon, this is all, obviously we're LT Plan approved, so whatever your brand is, but we'll do LTP approved, this is amazing. So loads of other people will see that. So you're not only adding value to your page, but you're adding value to other people's walls, and then that will gain you more business. It's really worked for me. I think I had last month 4 customers from doing like a recipe thing on my wall. It's crazy. Just adding value and not thinking about yourself works. Again, what like Faith was saying, adding value is inspirational things and just not being salesy, juice plus crazy on your wall. But the main thing that I was asked to speak about was turning an attitude into gratitude. You might think, what the fuck am I talking about? Sorry, I hope there's no kids listening in. But it's really quite simple. It's turning a really bad situation, an attitude situation, into a really positive situation. Like anybody that knows me knows that I'm going to be homeless in like 4 weeks. When I say homeless, I'm not going to be like, you know, I earn shitloads of money, but my credit's rubbish. So I've been really struggling to find a house. And last week I had an actual meltdown. I swear to you, Faith will tell you, I suffer with sometimes anxiety anyway. So I had a massive meltdown. Like she saw me and was like, I need to go to the pub and get drunk. And she saw me, she said, Rach, your skin is all like flared up. I was an emotional wreck. I had an emotional meltdown, and I needed it. I needed to just have a blast. The next day I woke up and went, you know what? I haven't got a fucking guarantor. I haven't got this house of my dreams. I haven't got this, but I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go, I am going to find a house today. I'm going to find a house that isn't with an agency, isn't with any like prim proper that need this. Guess what? I found 2 houses in that day that were private rental that didn't want a guarantor. I'm going to do the whole credit check thing because I've got a couple of CCJs from my ex-partner from years ago, wanker. And basically, I found 2 houses. When I looked at them both, got one, and it's all friggin' amazing. The other thing about turning attitude into gratitude is example today with Faith. Like we had like an amazing situation with Faith. You know, like she's got like a shit thing going on with the car, this going on, everything. We turned it around. She's just been to see a house and it's amazing. She loves it. Attitude into gratitude. You turn your shit into gold. And the third thing that Faith doesn't even know about is I've been looking for these rings. If you can see, these Pandora rings, they all mean something very, very special to me. They're all from very dear people in my life. And I have been looking for these fucking rings for months. I even blamed my cleaner. I was like, fuck me, what cleaners like nick my bloody rings? But I always thought I'd find them. And yesterday I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to find my Pandora rings because they mean so much to me. I went out with Faith earlier. She was having like this amazing day. It was like awesome. Came back. It was like Kai said, oh my God, Mum, guess what? I found your Pandora rings. No! I was like, that's like, it's not the money. That's probably about £150 worth. But it's not, it's the value. I could go and buy another one, but it's not about that. It's about the value. Who's given them me and the beauty of them giving them me. So quickly, like my 3 top tips. 1, write a gratitude journal. It doesn't matter if you get a separate book or whatever, but every day just write in a pad, get a separate pad or something. Gratitude. Like, when you think about gratitude, what do you think of? You think, oh, what am I thankful for? You're thankful for the fact that you're alive. You're thankful for the fact that you have beautiful children. You're thankful that you have running water. People don't have that. You're thankful for amazing things in your life. So get that shit written down. So every morning, in the morning, I am grateful that I've just been out with my sister and had a glass of wine. I'm grateful that I can afford to actually go and have a glass of wine. I'm grateful the fact that my kids are healthy. I'm grateful for A, B, and C, yeah? So do that every day for the next 30 days. Boom, boom. the next thing about the attitude to gratitude is smell the roses. Sometimes, you know, that phrase sounds like a bit crazy, but it's so true. You know, you could be walking through life and it's not an actual thing where you're going to walk through and smell the fucking roses, but it's an actual thing where you walk through life and you think, my life's so fucking shit. Oh my God, everything's going wrong. I haven't got any customers this month. I haven't got any teamers. Stop. Think about your life and think about how amazing your life is, and stop and smell the fucking roses. Yes, you might not have any customers this week, but stop and smell the amazingness of your life. Once you do that, everything else will follow. Okay. The last thing about turning shit attitude into gratitude is just turn that absolute neck. Do you know, we all have that day. Okay, so for example, someone told me the other day that they were going on a flight to XXX, not XXXXXX. They weren't going to like have sex on a flight, but they were going on a flight, and it so happened that the flight was cancelled because the plane was screwed. The plane was not working, and there was all these people were kicking off at the flight attendants going, oh my God, I'm so pissed off, I want my money back, this and that. And then one girl said, hang on a minute, I'm grateful to the fact that we didn't zoom off on this plane and it broke in midair, and I am grateful that I am still fucking alive. Hello. You know, so just, I'm not talking about a plane, just make it into your own life. You know, when you wake up and you're pissed off because your friend hasn't turned up to go over the napkin presentation, or you're pissed off because you've had a bill come through, you're pissed off because of this, just turn that pissed off shit into a positive. And that's me for now. Love ya.
Love that. Thank you, Rachel. I love, that's definitely going to be a new quote, isn't it?
But you know,
where is it? Turn that shit into gold. Yes.
I like that.
Let's all hashtag it. Let's all come off the Zoom and let's all hashtag.
We need to hashtag that right now.
Definitely.
We need to do that.
Just a quickie. If we're all going to be writing our DMOs for the next God knows how long, you know, we're doing a gratitude journal, you know, we probably won't do it. Why don't you put every single day on your DMO one thing you're grateful for? So add
brilliant.
one thing you're grateful for every day on your DMO, and then you can mix the whole thing together and make it a lot more simple. I'm all about simplicity. So for the next 30 days, do your DMO, put one thing you're grateful for on, and let's all check back in 30 days and do another Zoom. It'll be interesting to see.
Totally. Can I just say one thing quickly before we finish off, because obviously this has gone way over. Like, if you're completely like someone that is like a little bit depressed and a little bit in the funk and stuff like that, and you are someone that's not as excited and as crazy as me, Faith, Janika, and I know a lot of you, is don't do one, do 5. Because if you're like someone that's very positive like us, like, you know, don't get me wrong, I have my shit days. If you're quite a positive person, like 1 is fine. But if you are a little bit like, oh, life is so fucking bad, do 5 every day. Tell yourself 5 things that you're grateful for every single day, and add that to your DMO. Totally, yeah. Awesome.
Right.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, girls. Thank you so much for that.
Wicked.
So,
you've enjoyed it.
Shall we do? Who's coming tomorrow night?
Oh, I'm going to Fuel and Embalmers tomorrow.
Oh.
But totally me and loads of my team. So we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow evening.
See you.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much again.
Bye. Little baby.
Bye, baby Telly. What? Cuddle, cuddle, cuddle. He loves me. He loves me.
Oh.
You don't know that. See you later.
Love it. Thanks, guys. Lovely to have the Zoom. What an amazing thing. Let's all hashtag. What did we say?
Hashtag shit into gold.
Shit to go.
Yay! That's
Can comment on each other's walls.
Yeah, comment on each other's.
Yay!